Live on the Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks Motorsports. Live on the Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined. With Kenny Sargent.
Paging Dr. Douchebag.
Crash Gladys.
Get in crash position.
And Statman.
Don't overdrive the car.
Here's the Freaks.
Come on, they know freak.
Living easy. Living free. You gotta be some kick on a one-way ride. Yes, nothing. Leave me be.
Freak Nation, we're going to get around this, aren't we, tonight? I promise you. Speed Freaks from Lucas Oil Studios, man. We've been doing this for a long damn time, Freak Nation. Thank you guys for being a part of it. Lucas Oil Studios for almost 22 years. Going to be celebrating that 22nd anniversary coming up in June. Statman, do you know the date that we're going to be celebrating our 22nd birthday in June?
I think it's the 25th. Wasn't that the first show
Yeah.
that we did?
Yeah.
25?
Yeah.
Yes.
And again, if you're watching us on YouTube or on Twitch or on Facebook Live, Richie, 22 years ago, how old are you, my friend?
I'm going to have to think for a second. Just,
It was the
9?
year
I was
2000. You were 9. Are you kidding?
Yep. And after 22 years, we still don't know how to not talk over each other. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is greatness.
It happens.
Yep. Freak Nation, nothing but winners here tonight. Almost a first-time winner when it comes to our good friend Tyler Reddick. We're going to hear from Tyler Reddick, who was actually running for the win at Phoenix. A good interview with Tyler. He'll be this hour. Coming up the second hour, Matt Hagan, NHRA Funny Car winner, will be joining us here in the Freak Nation. The first NHRA win for Tony Stewart Racing. Tony Stewart and Leah Pruitt. There's a video out there. If you follow us on Twitter, if you follow Tony Stewart Racing, you'll see a video of Tony Stewart and Leah Pruitt. The emotion is raw when Matt Hagan won that race this afternoon in Gville. Yeah, Tony Stewart grabs his first NHRA win. Also coming up next hour, his name is Taylor Gray. And Statman, I believe in this interview, Crash and I caught up with Taylor Gray. He won the ARCA Series race at Phoenix Friday night. He's the grandson of former funny car driver, dirt driver, Johnny Gray. And I believe I kicked off the interview with him, Statman, referring to the first time we met Johnny Gray hanging out it was like down to Tucson or at Phoenix for spring testing or something. We were listening to Nelly on the Beats with him and Del Worsham when they were driving the Checker Shucks Kragen funny car. I brought that up to him, and that was 22 years ago, and this guy wasn't even born, and he's winning freaking NASCAR races.
Yeah, we were also talking to Johnny Gray about him giving President Bush at the time. He was giving President Bush at the time a consultation on.
Okay.
A little side dancing there with Statman, but yeah, we're going to hear from Taylor Gray. The story about Taylor Gray winning the ARCA Series race is he drives for David Gilliland Racing, and It happened, Crasher, was it Thursday morning? Was the accident Thursday morning?
I don't know the exact date. I want to say it was Tuesday, but it was midweek. It was tragic.
Where the driver of the hauler for David Gilliland Racing and part of Taylor Gray's team passed away in this accident. Others are injured. And for him to go out there with, needless to say, that on his mind and win the damn thing at Phoenix Raceway is incredible. Of course, doing it on General Tires, but catching up with Taylor Gray here in the second hour. Statman, I don't know how much time we got until we got to resume with some new affiliates, but quickly, we're seeing a whole hell of a lot of new names winning big boy and girl racing in racing, bud. Chase Briscoe being one of them.
Exactly, and all kinds of racing. Chase Briscoe and the people who chased him across the finish line were Chastain and Tyler Reddick, guys who never won a race yet. We've got Trip Tatum, who's a top fuel winner today, and Daryl. I want to say Green, but that's
Glenn. David Glenn.
I keep getting Daryl Green. That was a major league.
Easy.
Yeah. So we got nothing but new names. That'd be like having Mick Schumacher win the F1 race next weekend.
Or Kevin Magnussen, or even though he's not really new.
Right.
Just hasn't won before.
But regardless, man, it's fun to see all of these new names coming in and winning in their respective series. Even to a degree, there are not necessarily well-funded riders in Supercross that are being competitive. They're not necessarily winning the races, but they're being competitive here in the Freak Nation. Going to resume with some affiliates coming up here, Freak Nation. And Crash Gladys, pit news and notes coming up.
Speed Freaks, we promise to suck less. Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined. The Freaks.
Crash Gladys pit news and notes. Right now, as we're bringing in another round of affiliates here in the Freak Nation, thank you guys for being a part of Speed Freaks. Coming up this hour, almost grabbed his first NASCAR Cup win, Tyler Reddick. He'll be joining us. But first, let's go to Crash Gladys and her pit news and notes, brought to you by General Tire. Now through the end of April, 4 qualifying passenger tires from General Tires, you're going to take home up to $70 with a Visa prepaid card. That's right. Go to GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com for more information. Crasher.
All right, before anything else is said, mad props to Freaks fave Tony Stewart. He took wins in both NASCAR and NHRA today, so more on that in a bit. In NASCAR, in Phoenix, it was Chase Briscoe's first win in the Cup Series as his car and his crew were the ones to beat in most of the second half of the race. Chase held off Ross Chastain and Tyler Reddick and even admitted to crying throughout the white flag lap as he went on to cross the stripe. Massive props. The Xfinity Series had a more dominant winner in Noah Gragson. He led 114 of the 200 laps. Friday night saw the most emotional win when Taylor Gray fought very hard on his General Tires to hold off Daniel Dye, Sammy Smith, and Raja Karuth in the final restart en route to his first win in the ARCA Series. Gray's car was stripped of sponsorship, while the names Steven Stotts, John Zaveri, and Michael Mazel were placed above each of the doors. John and Michael survived the Gilliland team hauler crash during the week, but hauler driver Steven Stotts did not make it. Taylor Gray dedicated his win to his fallen teammate. Back to the Tony Stewart connection and Chase Briscoe's NASCAR Cup win for the team. Over in Florida, it was funny car driver Matt Hagan grabbing the first ever Wally for Tony's NHRA group. And like Kenny said, you've got to check out the video that Matt Hagan has posted. Videos and pictures that he's posted on his Twitter account. It was such a fitting race in Pro Stock Motorcycle as, well, what is this month? It's Women's History Month.
Bam.
Yes, so it was Karen Stouffer versus Angie Smith in the final. Stouffer loves herself some Gainesville asphalt. So after setting new NHRA records not once but twice today, she netted the win in Get this, the quickest side-by-side run in the history of the class. A 6.723 run by Angie to Karen's 6.7 flat. More in the second hour.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Hey, Freak Nation, whether you're looking for a tire that balances high-performance responsiveness and traction in wet and light snow conditions, excellent handling and traction in off-road situations, or a summer performance tire designed with the driving enthusiast in mind, General Tire has you covered. From the G-Max RS to the Grabber ATX, no matter what you drive, General Tire will get you where you're going. Learn more at GeneralTire.com. General Tire, supporting the Freak Nation for 2 decades.
How about this, Freak Nation? No matter how big your car or truck is, nothing in your engine takes more abuse than its oil. But with Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer, your engine oil will last longer to do the job it was designed to do. Protect your engine and offer peak performance. Lucas Oil Heavy Duty Stabilizer, it eliminates dry starts, lowers engine temperatures, and prolongs the life of your oil up to 50%. Hey man, don't let your engine be caught dead without the protection and performance of Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer. That's right, keep that engine alive with Lucas Oil.
Now you can get generic Viagra shipped to your door for about $2 a pill. Get the same impact for less. Call Steelman Pills now and get the same blue pill for about $2 a pill. Call now for the 50 pill special and save even more. Plus, get a free bonus.
800-993-1327. 800-993-1327. That's 800-993-1327.
Time is more valuable today. There's less time to keep our vehicles looking their best. That's where Lucas Oil Slick Mist Speed Wax steps up. It's great for paint, chrome, glass, and vinyl. Lucas Oil Slick Mist simply mists on and then wipes off, leaving a new car shine every time. It's quick and easy and works on wet or dry surfaces. For a complete detail, there's also Slick Mist Interior or Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Lucas Oil, it works.
Hey, Freak Nation, did you hear? With the addition of MAV TV Plus to the MAV TV Motorsports Network, they've got their full live event broadcast schedule for 2021. A total of 226 live race broadcasts featuring ARCA Menard Series, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, Pro Pulling League, American Sprint Car Series, Pro Motocross, and the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl Nationals. MAV TV, the only television network dedicated to motorsports. Go to mavtv.com to get your motorsports fix 24/7, 365.
If you're a diabetic, we have great news. You can end the painful finger sticks with a new CGM. Plus, they may be covered by Medicare, Medicaid, or private insurance. If you test and inject daily, you may qualify. Call US Med now to learn more.
800-756-8720. 800-756-8720. 800-756-8720. That's 800-756-8720.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Listen, man, it's fantastic being a part of Lucas Oil and that family, because when you're partners with a big brand like that, or General Tire or others that we're certainly involved with, and they've got drivers and cars running for race wins and actually winning races, that is absolutely fantastic. Crasher, update the Lucas Oil Motorsports results that you have for the weekend.
Well, it was a good end to the day today, because we had 2 Lucas Oil drivers and riders in the final round at the NHRA Gator Nationals. Kyle Koretsky in the Pro Stock class and Angie Smith in Pro Stock Motorcycles as part of that history-making, side-by-side Pro Stock Motorcycle woman-to-woman run. I mean, it was just amazing, and right. Angie was a part of it. So that was so cool. And then, of course, over on close to the West Coast in Phoenix, Tyler Reddick, my gosh, battled to get up to second place and then fell off again, and then battled back to second and was in contention for that lead. But that last restart, he just didn't quite have it. And, well, Briscoe did have the better car.
Statman, did you hear what Crasher said there? 2 women on bikes in the NHRA in the finals. And not only the finals, but Statman, the quickest pass in, is this right, Crasher? in Pro Bikes history?
Yep. Quickest side-by-side run in that division of the sport's history.
Bonkers.
Not to mention that Karen Stouffer, I'm sorry, Statman, not to mention that Karen Stouffer had already set the track record and the series record 2 rounds before that. And it was backed up by her first round, which was 6.6 something. Oh, it was just incredible. So I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there too.
Yeah, it's Women's History Month. We ought to get women in motorsports. It should be celebrated every time we get a chance to.
Yep. We tried, but we had to settle for second best in Matt Hagan, which is always fantastic here in the Freak Nation.
Oh, you mean we tried to get Karen in the studios?
Yes, we tried to get Karen.
Yes, we did.
In the Freak Nation. If you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook Live, or of course on Twitch, hey, how you doing, man? How you doing? Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram, the website, speedfreaks.tv. Coming up, Tyler Reddick, a 2-parter. We caught up with him over the weekend. He'll be joining us here in the Freak Nation. Your Statman Scat coming up in moments. And Richie, is this for real? Is Drive to Survive season 2 through whatever? Is Drive to Survive, the new season, up already?
Season 4 is back. It is back. I was watching it last night before I went to sleep, and I'm already all in. I'm probably going to finish it tomorrow.
God.
Do you remember? Do you remember what I showed you in the Phoenix Media Center last night? Is that the reason why you went home and started watching it?
Part of it, yes.
Do you remember what that was?
I do. Crash sent me a tweet, apparently from somebody who had already seen the show all the way through this season, that at the very end, in those final 2 episodes, which is what focuses on the championship as it plays out, somebody tweeted out that after viewing that, there is no way anyone can say that the final race wasn't rigged.
Oh.
Funny
how that works.
Yeah, stat man, that's a shock, isn't it, that the race was rigged?
Yeah, we had Netflix had to confirm it for
Thank you, Netflix.
Oh, this is going to be a fun motorsports season, Freak Nation. We got all these new names. We got women kicking ass again. We've got Crasher doing her thing, Statman, yours truly, Kenny Sargent, Richard C. Suave with I don't know what the hell he's wearing. Look at that outfit. That is legit.
They're ice cream cones, right?
They are ice cream cones, and I bought their shirt for Pride Month last year, and they're like rainbow colored. To support the LGBTQ community.
Rainbow ice cream.
Can you get maybe an undershirt? Again, this is sorry radio. Can you get maybe an undershirt that matches with that shirt? It's like
this is gray. I'm wearing a gray shirt, Freak Nation. A gray shirt usually goes with everything. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to come to my house and be my personal fashion consultant on what I pick out to wear to the racetrack every day? Do you want to do that? I think I look great. Okay.
He did. He looked great at Phoenix Raceway today.
Yeah.
It was totally fine.
This is happening.
Oh, he's got his GT hat on, too. Nice.
Oh, Freak Nation. Your Statman Scat in moments. Speaking of Formula One, we'll get to that. Also, Tyler Reddick coming up here in the Freak Nation.
Formula One season opens in Bahrain this week. Lots of new stuff, lots of new headlines, driver lineups, driver dreams, and engineering ideas. A welcome headline this week has American Colton Herta getting a test driver deal from McLaren run by American Zach Brown. That synergy is the point of disappointment over what's happening at Haas F1. That relationship with Russia may sack the team. Wouldn't surprise me if Haas sells out to Michael Andretti, but that's not a headline. That's pure speculation on my part. I just hope that Herta has grown into the big boy discipline to be successful in F1. He didn't have it at Nashville last year. Hopefully his racecraft has grown beyond his years. Michael Andretti is saying he's made inroads with F1 owners after personal conversations recently. If Michael has the money, he should be allowed in the club if he has the money. As for F1 owners, if a black drummer is good enough for the gentrified Rolling Stones, why can't Michael Andretti be good enough for the gentrified F1 grid if he has the money? Peace.
Speed Freaks Freaks, Motorsports Radio redefined. Decades. You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio redefined.
Freak Nation, I can't say it enough. It's fantastic to see a number of these drivers that are winning in all forms of motorsports, typical drivers that you don't see win races. And Chase Briscoe's one of them. If you follow us on our YouTube page, you'll see a good 15, 20 minutes with Chase Briscoe and his fandom for his team owner, Tony Stewart. He had nothing but Home Depot. His blankets were Home Depot. And now the guy's winning races for Tony Stewart. So badass.
In the number 14 that Stewart used to drive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we'll tweet that out later. Well, actually, if you follow us on Twitter, you'll see the link to that interview. But there's another name, Tyler Reddick, who he's going to get himself a win this year. Dude's been in every race so far. Every race has had the car. Again, almost had this race at Phoenix, running for Richard Childress Racing. Tyler Reddick, he comes from the same cloth as Kyle Larson, where you put him in. You'll hear in this interview, whether it's IndyCar or a sprint car, this guy will drive it. He'll run it. It's Tyler Reddick. We caught up with him yesterday from Phoenix Raceway. Tyler Reddick here in the Freak Nation. So Tyler Reddick joining us here in the Freak Nation, of course, running the NASCAR Cup Series, getting set for Sunday at Phoenix Raceway. And we were talking about the ARCA Series race on MAV TV Friday night, where he wasn't able to see much of it. But when you have a race like the ARCA Series, Tyler, that you may not have any vested interest in the ARCA series initially, but as a driver that's worked his way up like you have, how do you watch races for like that when there's rookie drivers and young drivers? Do you look at it like a mentor perspective, like he should be doing this or I would have done that at that age? Or do you just watch it like it's just a damn race?
It's a mix of both, but I'd say I start watching it with the purpose of really, all right, I got to learn and study, learn something from this, study this, see what the track's doing, all that stuff. By the end of the race, I find myself shouting and yelling like a race fan because I still am a race fan. That's what got me into racing was, just enjoyment, love watching, drivers out there competing on the edge. But whether it's even a race I get knocked out of like the 500 when Austin broke through and won that thing. I found myself cheering and yelling and screaming probably as loud as some of the fans in the stands. So I bounce back and forth. I do love it a lot. So,
are you the same if you're watching Formula One or if you're watching NHRA? I mean, do you even have a chance to watch all forms of racing?
NHRA I don't get to watch too much because I feel like they're on Sundays. They're kind of competing around the same time that NASCAR is. And the one or two off weekends that we do have, the last thing on my mind is really racing, I guess. But yeah, I mean, pretty much every Sunday once their season cranks up, I'm waking up for one purpose and one purpose only. That's to watch F1 race normally. So that's what I wake up at. Whatever. I mean, if it's 3, 4, 7, whatever.
Really?
Don't matter. Get a cup of coffee. Let's go.
Right.
Watch some racing.
Why? Huh. Why is Formula One your Jones? I can guess, but why is it that you set your alarm to watch a series that isn't, that doesn't have fenders?
Well, you mentioned fenders, but I came from outlaw karts and open wheel dirt racing as it's called. So I don't know. I don't really pick and choose because this car has fenders or doesn't. I like it or don't like it.
Is it the technology that just blows you away that these cars can do what they're doing?
Yeah. I mean, the budget, the technology, the drivers that they find, the drivers that they really groom and grow. And then I guess the obvious one for me is, just the fact that, those cars have one purpose from the very first part or piece or the first graph of carbon getting laid around the top. Right. It's all speed. Nothing else matters. Speed. I mean, there's some safety stuff that they've brought along with the halo and everything that's really good. But those cars just, we think we know what fast is, and that's just a whole nother level of fast. Those cars are pulling G's that you can only get in F-16s and fighter jets. That's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So basically, Memorial Day Sunday is your Christmas. I mean, well, it used to be. Hopefully, we're going to get back to it again. Wake up with Formula One, head to the Indy 500, and then you're in the cockpit for the Coke 600. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that for a race fan.
No, it doesn't. You have racing pretty much all day long. Early in the morning, I think. I could be wrong. They'll be running Monaco.
Yes.
Then you have the Indy 500. Then you have the Coke 600 to, either try and, wash away a hangover or your hangover's quickly approaching, your racing hangover.
That's true.
If you will.
Fans, yes.
But yeah, it's a really fun day. It sneaks up on me every time. I don't think about it until it's almost there and it's oh my God, there's so much racing I got to watch before I go race. But yeah, as a racing fan, there's a lot to take in. It's a really cool deal if you're into motorsports. You can be glued to a TV pretty much all day long.
Well, explain what is it like? We're at the Indy 500 typically, so what is it like in Charlotte? I mean, are there TVs everywhere? Are people drinking their coffees and kind of talking about what's going on in other parts of the world at that time? I mean, what is it like in Charlotte?
I think somewhat, NASCAR of all sports, I feel like can kind of get a little lost or caught up in its own itself a little bit and kind of. I mean, there's a lot of people in our sport that love F1 and love watching Indy 500. But like I feel like if you're gonna look at all three and say, okay, this is the one where it might get kind of lost in itself from time to time, it's probably NASCAR a little bit because, I mean. I don't know. I've never strolled through the campground at 7 in Charlotte Motor Speedway, but I would imagine most everybody's passed out asleep, because they've been up all night partying. So maybe some will be up. Maybe I'll be proven wrong if I go look in the morning. I probably won't because I'll be watching the race at home with coffee. So, yeah, it's. I think the big screen has had the Indy 500 playing from time to time at the times that I've been to the track that early. Normally on 600 day like that, you don't get to the track until a little good bit later in the afternoon.
Well,
that's a good point too.
I don't know. Tyler's. I always hated when people said this to me. You were too young to remember, but I'm going to say that. When we started SpeedFreaks 20 plus years ago, there was such a division between open wheel and NASCAR. Such a division. And it was created by open wheel. Mm-hmm. NASCAR took the reins and kicked the ass of open wheel with a split and so forth. And then NASCAR copped that attitude. And now it looks like we're working our way back to where you've got an IndyCar race and a NASCAR race in the same weekend at a track. And we've been talking about that for 20 years. Where it's like you're saying, man, if you could watch NHRA, you would, or maybe a supercross race, because we're all motorsports fans. Once we get outside of our bubble and realize that, God damn it, Tyler Reddick wants to watch Formula One. What? Are you kidding me? He didn't want to sit down and watch all these stock car races? No, he's a motorhead. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think we're getting back to where we can enjoy each other's series, so to speak.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the more that the drivers have a diverse background of what they race, helps them as a driver in the car. And the more that, the teams and the owners and partners are comfortable with that, it helps the drivers kind of move around. Then, you might notice some of the fans, like, fans of Kyle Larson especially, kind of move around, follow everything that he's doing. So the more that starts to happen, the more fans that only watch NASCAR that don't even maybe really even haven't even given the time of day to watch IndyCar or Formula One or IMSA, those crossovers will start to happen more the more that the drivers are actually doing that too, I think.
Well, Crasher, I'm going to follow up on that because there was hatred that Dario Franchitti came over to stock cars, that Juan Pablo Montoya.
A lot of it was the fan base, though, too.
Yeah.
And like Tyler's saying, I mean, fans need to realize all boats rise on a high tide, and we all need each other together. Yeah. It's motorsports against stick and ball at times for sponsor dollars.
Yeah.
So let's help each other.
So it wasn't fun watching that. Mm-mm. That because we're friends with all the series, but the hatred for Dario Franchitti, one of the nicest cats on the planet. You're going stock car racing? Yeah, he is.
Yeah, let him go.
He wants to pay his bills. He wants to try something new.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why, again, I guess I wasn't really in the sport like I'm where I am today, so I firsthand didn't really see a lot of that, but I do remember, there wasn't a lot of positive energy flowing around from what should have been a very positive thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that that's gotten better. Like, there's, I didn't see a lot of negativity come around or stir around from when Kurt went and ran the 500 or other crossovers have happened. I think it's been a lot more positive for sure. It's no matter what discipline or racing you choose, they're all very challenging. And, those drivers that want that challenge to jump from one to the other or do both, hats off to them because it's not easy. Those cars couldn't be any more different than what they are from a stock car. It's just a totally different ball game.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Whoa. Is that refreshing or what, Statman?
Completely refreshing. I remember the first time I had a conversation with the Snake, Don Prudhomme, and he's a complete F1 fan. Ron Capps, complete F1 fan. Yeah, Tyler Reddick, wow, that catches me off guard.
Sorry, Kenny. It's like you see Dale Jr. and you think NASCAR, but what you need to know about somebody like Dale Jr. is they're an historian of the sport and not just NASCAR. They love racing, period. He loves NHRA. He loves IndyCar. He loves Supercross. He loves sports cars. I mean, it's just...
Let me cut you off right there, Crash, because the one thing that is a common denominator for every NASCAR driver I've ever talked to for 22 years is they don't understand how somebody could sit behind an 11,000 horsepower funny car or in front of it 11,000 horsepower top fuel dragster. They idolize some of those guys and are just in awe and would never get behind the wheel. Just like some of the guys who race in top fuel, they'd find it pretty difficult to run for 6 hours behind the wheel of NASCAR round and around in a circle. I mean, there's a lot of respect that these guys have for each other.
I'll never forget, was it the first time or the second time we had John Force in the studio with us in Los Angeles? It was probably the second time. Eddie Cheever was also in the studio at that particular time. And John just stood across the room and just stared at Eddie. He's like, and I think you asked him, Kenny, why are you so quiet? He goes, I'm in the same room with an Indy 500 winner.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I was sitting between the two of them. John was on my right shoulder, and I looked at him like, that's the first time John's ever been quiet in his life. And he said, that's an Indy 500 winner. A lot of respect.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, it's Statman, I want you to get out to a cup race this year because I'm just walking through the garage. You have a more well-tuned ear than I do when it comes to certain sounds of motors. But looking at how low these cup cars are, how wide they are, and how they sound, I've just got Trans Am races from Long Beach Grand Prix up and down my chilled spine when I hear those things and look at those things on the track. Going back to Long Beach Grand Prix with the Trans Am races, it puts me there the way they look, the way they sound.
Kenny, I couldn't agree with you more. I was thinking the exact same thing, only my mind was going to V8 supercars instead of Trans Am. These cars, I'd like the look of these cars. They look more like the street cars, the wide fender flares. The cars look like something from the street, what stock cars are supposed to look like.
Freak Nation, we have part 2 coming up with Tyler Reddick when we return from these special messages for you, Freak Nation. And Richie, let's get that Tony Stewart tweet ready to show the Freak Nation if they're watching us on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook Live, where he and his wife, whoa, sounds weird, where Tony Stewart and his wife, Leah Pruitt, show this raw emotion when Matt Hagan, which, by the way, we're going to have him on in the second hour, when Matt Hagan gets the first win for Tony Stewart Racing in NHRA. Let's get that thing ready to go. Again, the second part for Tyler Reddick, a young gun, a dude. He's going to get him some races, man. He's going to get him some race wins. Tyler Reddick, flying those Lucas Oil colors, coming up next. SpeedFreaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Hey, Freak Nation, if the grind, whine, and squeal of your vehicle's power steering makes you cringe every time you reach for the wheel, then grab Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. That's Lucas's unique formula that fixes most worn rack and pinions, pumps, and gearboxes, making them perform like new. Using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you'll find it eliminates squeals, seal leaks, and rough spots. And get this, it's 100% guaranteed, so there's no reason to use anything but Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. Lucas Oil, it works.
Now you can get generic Viagra shipped to your door for about $2 a pill. Get the same impact for less. Call Steelman Pills now and get the same blue pill for about $2 a pill. Call now for the 50 pill special and save even more. Plus, get a free bonus.
800-993-1327. 800-993-1327. That's 800-993-1327.
Hey, Freak Nation, did you hear? With the addition of MAV TV Plus to the MAV TV Motorsports Network, they've got their full live event broadcast schedule for 2021. It's a total of 226 live race broadcasts featuring 11 highly competitive racing series. This year's live coverage on MAV TV features the ARCA Menard Series, midget car action provided by the Power Eye National Midget League, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, and the Pro Pulling League. There's even the Moto America Series, Midwest Drag Racing Series, American Sprint Car Series, Pro Motocross, Hoosier Arena Cross, and the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl National. It's MAV TV's most robust live coverage schedule in network history. So come join us at MAV TV, the only television network in the U.S. dedicated exclusively to motorsports. For more information on MAV TV and MAV TV Plus, go to mavtv.com to get your motorsports fix 24/7, 365.
Time is more valuable today. There's less time to keep our vehicles looking their best. That's where Lucas Oil Slick Mist Speed Wax steps up. It's great for paint, chrome, glass, and vinyl. Lucas Oil Slick Mist simply mists on and then wipes off, leaving a new car shine every time. It's quick and easy and works on wet or dry surfaces. For a complete detail, there's also Slick Mist Interior or Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Lucas Oil, it works.
Hey, Freak Nation, whether you're looking for a tire that balances high-performance responsiveness and traction in wet and light snow conditions, excellent handling and traction in off-road situations, or a summer performance tire designed with the driving enthusiast in mind, General Tire has you covered. From the G-Max RS to the Grabber ATX, no matter what you drive, General Tire will get you where you're going. Learn more at GeneralTire.com. General Tire, supporting the Freak Nation for 2 decades.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Freak Nation, if you look at the standings in the NASCAR Cup Series, there are some drivers that aren't in the top 10. Some of those drivers, to Statman's dismay, at least one of them, is Kyle Busch. He's sitting out of the top 10. Alex Bowman out of the top 10. Martin Truex out of the top 10. William Byron out of the top 10. You know who is in the top 10? It's Tyler Reddick. And we continue on with part 2 with Tyler Reddick, who damn near had himself his first Cup win right here in Phoenix. Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Talked with you in the offseason, Tyler, about potentially doing some dirt races or some, just you name it, something outside of a stock car just to keep yourself going. Are any plans different now, or do you have something scheduled for this summer as well, in addition to obviously Cup?
Yeah, there's some things I'm working on. I don't know if I wish I kind of knew if I could say or not right now.
Oh, okay. Don't say. If your question,
I need to make sure I've asked the boss for permission first before I say it. A couple of them I have, but I don't know if I can talk about them yet.
Does it have fenders?
Some of them, yeah. Some of them have fenders. Some of them don't. So,
but bottom line, yes, it's in the works.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the interesting thing with all that is, time-wise, it looks like that's something that's kind of easy to do and be fun to do. It'd be good for me to do. And then here in the last, 2-3 weeks, I've had issues that I have in the car with my legs. It's like, okay, do I want to be going getting other cars if I need to be resting? So that's a new, I guess, curveball I wasn't really anticipating. So I haven't really been thinking about other, I've got some things hopefully they're going to happen.
So
I kind of had to I'm not going to really go jumping in and looking for other things to go do right now until I know that this issue's behind me.
You haven't confirmed with Richard that you can use his jet to run the 500 and then go down and run the 600? You haven't confirmed that with him yet?
I'm sure if it came down to it, he'd be more willing to do that. I'm pretty sure about that. I've joked with him about trying to do, Rolex, something like that. I don't know where I don't know, where it's at right now, but
you're one of those drivers. You're one of those guys that could get into something and be competitive, whether it's a sports car, an Indy car, or a dirt car. That's you. That's Tyler. That's not a guy that's stuck to just one series.
Well, I'd hope not. I'd love to try to find out and be sure, certainly, stock cars are a lot of fun to drive. They're hard to handle. They're beasts. But the Indy cars are just, like that's just something like, I mean, stock cars, the competition in NASCAR is really tight. It's tight in IndyCar too, but it's like you're putting yourself at a whole different like level to drive those cars for the length that those IndyCar drivers
You'd be
do.
giddy in an IndyCar, wouldn't you? I'm watching.
Yes.
You. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. No, I definitely, I definitely would be. I've not got to drive the real thing, but I've gotten to play around in a few. Been able to be put in a few environments to get a pretty good read on it. And
you are dancing around something.
No, he's not.
No, I'm not.
No, he's not.
It's been real. I mean, the few opportunities I've had to drive something that's close to it or as close as you can get to the real thing, it's been like really, really fun. It's incredible.
I still can't believe they don't have power steering because we talk about technology.
I was just getting ready to say the part that is like the most mind blowing about it is like you're just going around a corner and you're literally like, all right, I'm having to bend my arm into the cockpit. If I hit a bump that's gonna break my arm, it could, but you have to just bend your elbows into the cockpit to hold around some of the corners. It's incredible.
Yeah, do that at Watkins Glen with no power steering.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
See?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's a driver, man. That's
true.
That's a driver. I mean, that's AJ Ford. That's Mario. That's Tony Stewart. Kyle Larson. It's not
Tyler Reddick.
It's not like the hand on the steering wheel and you want that difficulty of being able to steer that. As I'm told now,
are you saying
racecraft? Why are we calling it a racecraft now?
Because that's what it is.
But I've not heard that in 20 years until we have an ARCA driver going talking about the racecraft. It's got race car, man.
We're not a racecraft.
Have you heard that yet?
I thought we were talking about like a racing craft, like what I'm working on, not a racecraft.
See there?
Okay.
I heard racecraft.
I've heard it twice with these 16-year-olds going, it's a race car.
I think you can call it a racecraft if it takes flight in a race, but other than that, I don't know. It's still a car as of right now.
Like construction paper, like you're making it, arts and crafts, and
yeah.
Do we know how your legs are? Do we know what the problem is?
I think we've figured out what the issue in the car is. I made a lot of gains, the problem is just sitting in the car in the shop floor. It's pretty difficult to understand if it's truly fixed or not because I can sit in that car all day long and feel fine, but it's 20-ish laps or sooner on the racetrack of driving with the load with the bumps is when it really starts to kick in. So even the 15-minute warm-ups that we have isn't really enough time, even if you ran it straight through to really know if you're going to have a problem or not. So that's the tough part about it. We know, I know what is causing my legs to go to sleep, pinching my sciatic nerve, but it's just trying to get my legs in the right place. If I get my legs too low, then I'm going to cut them off, the circulation off in another area, which is not good either. So we had it right in the old car, so we'll keep moving the pedals around until we get it right. I just hope we found it, I guess, this week at the shop.
Do yellow flags help? I mean, can you move it enough to just be like, okay, let's get in a new position or whatever?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, yellow flags help a lot. That first time really comes on, it's like, oh my God, it's terrible. But whenever the cautions do come, you take advantage of it. Thankfully, with this car, the way the air intake is through the grill opening and everything, you're not having to shut the engine off a lot to keep it cool. A lot of the tracks we were at, we weren't in a lot of situations that have to save fuel or anything, so I could, pretty easily loosen the belts up, move around a little bit, get some feeling back.
That's true. If I'm driving to Vegas, man, I can stop, stretch, go grab me a Coke. You, man. I could turn around and slap my 8-year-old. Shut up!
A lot of drivers, have fixed belts, and I understand why that's like appealing. It's less weight. There's less chance you catch your hand on something and lose something up. But having double adjustable belts, like not just on the shoulders but everywhere else, was like I would have been completely in trouble if I didn't have that in my car because I wouldn't have been able to loosen up lap belts and move around. That would have been bad. So I'm kind of glad that for whatever reason I've just decided to stick with those.
Can you do that at speed? Can you make adjustments to your belts as you're cruising at 200 miles an hour?
You don't want to be loosening your belts up at speed. Yeah, that would be bad. But I mean, I think it was something. almost like a nervous tick or something like that I had when I ran at Junior Motorsports and that second Xfinity year. I would just almost every straightaway kind of, catch myself just making, grabbing like going a notch, or not a notch, but like the belts have, seams and everything. They'll just kind of, they're so tight already. You'll feel them go like one more thread or something down.
Do you feel the click? Like,
it's kind of like a click, even though it's really not. But yeah,
But like the thread, like you in your head, you think it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
AJ Allmendinger lost the Indy 500 because his seatbelt came undone.
Oh, it was awful.
How wacky would that be?
It's happened.
To you?
Yeah, but it only happened in the first place because I never got it clicked in the beginning. Clicked in the first place. Never had that happen on the racetrack like under green, but like you'll be in there, you think you got your belts tight, and you'll go to tighten this belt one more time, and it'll just go all the way out, and then the thing will come flying up. It's like, I didn't have it clicked in, but under sitting in the garage, not like on the racetrack, so nothing crazy.
What is the craziest thing that's happened in the cockpit during a race?
Either there's 15 of them you're trying to rattle through, or really nothing gnarly.
Or that would be great if there was nothing gnarly. Meanwhile, leg falling asleep.
I mean, that's not good. Yeah. Steering wheel come off like in my hands. Like if I went to just make sure it was like on, and I've pulled back, and I noticed as soon as I pulled back to make sure it was on, it started moving like then put it right back on. That wasn't good.
Click.
Okay, we're good now. All right, we were like half an inch from big problems here, from a crash. What else? One time I had an electrical fire, and I was like, "Hey, do I need to pit for this? Do you guys want me to stop? The car's on fire under the dash." Whenever the caution notes come out, could we pit and put that out?
Do we need to pit?
It took a while to put that fire out.
Have 6 layers of Nomex or whatever it is, but
the problem is I should have came right to pit road and had them put it out because it burned up our electrical system. In the garage for like 30 laps.
Why do you ask the question? It's your life.
I was hoping it was just going to go out, like under green. Some wind would get in there, some air moving around in the cockpit. I was hoping it was just going to go out.
Hey, my lower extremities are on fire. I think we ought to come in and put these out.
Well, talking about, I was actually really young when this happened. The in and out Lockhart, the radiators, I think they still are in some of them, or in the bigger classes like 500, 250, whatever. The radiators mounted above your feet, and those outlaw carts like under the hood area or whatever. I think, I don't know, we dumped the water out of the radiator or changed it out, whatever.
Right.
We threw the hose clamp back on there, filled it back up with water. We went racing. Well, somebody forgot, my dad, I don't know. Someone forgot to tighten the hose clamp down, and it was like after we'd been running for a couple minutes, and I got in an accident, and like car went across the hood or something like that, and it grabbed the radiator hose and ripped it off. And my bare legs met hot boiling water. That felt really good.
Did you have scarring from it?
I don't know. I don't think I have any scarring anymore, but like for a long time I felt like it was very obvious, like I could really see it on my legs.
Whoa.
But that hurt.
Yeah.
That's a terror.
That is a nightmare. That's what you dream about. Like, it's never going to happen. Well, it just did.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Because of that, I for a long time here up until recently, like I've always I got to have stirrups in my suit, which are those straps that go, like where the bottom of the suit is. It's like strapped to kind of keep
your pants down, right?
Pants down, yeah. So.
Oh wow.
Man.
So I was like the one thing, even though I wore like socks up to here that were fireproof and everything, I was always worried like if my legs are exposed, a radiator that's not mounted above my feet anymore is going to like bust open and burn my legs.
Wow.
I'd have nightmares about that.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
I did for a while.
Did you really?
Yeah. I was pretty young when it happened. I think I was like 6 or 7.
What?
Yeah.
That's true. We of doing 20 plus years, we've not asked drivers, because I guess it's not kosher. What kind of nightmares do you have? Do you have nightmares as a driver? Do you have crashing nightmares? Do you have nightmares as a driver? Do you have gnarly dreams like that?
I wouldn't say they're like nightmares, but I have a lot of dreams, and I've lived this a couple times, where like you just crash 30 times in a race, you hit everything, and somehow still finish, that type of stuff. I've actually done that a few times, like Bristol. Like I spun out.
That's Bristol.
What did I do? I think I spun out twice at Bristol. Started a lap down because we got in trouble. Yeah, I think I got to the front, spun out, and I spun out a second time. I think we still won the race, but it's like I've had a couple dreams like that.
Right.
They're similar in that nature. Like
That's
you just
a good
hit everything
dream if
possible.
you win.
Well, I wouldn't say always win. I just finish. So I think. Yeah, I guess my brain does have some weird dreams like that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like in college, people have dreams of always waking up late and missing their class or something. But no, as a race car driver, you do dream about racing.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of it.
You want to know what one of my nightmares is?
Oh, no.
I was the all-state kicker in high school.
Oh.
Here we go.
And I always get that call to make the winning kick in my dreams, but I'm always late. This is no joke. I'm always late to kick.
Late is a big thing in
I don't
dreams.
even know how you could be late for that, but
Well,
yeah.
it's like they called me. I was on my couch or something. I had to catch a plane to go kick a football.
I was thinking it was going to be something like you go up to kick and you're running up to line drive this thing, and all of a sudden the football is actually like a soccer or a basketball or something, and you freeze or something like that.
It's a 2x4.
Or it's like Lucy with the peanuts.
There you go. I don't know. Solved another good minutes with you
It's
here in the
been
Freak
fun.
Nation. I know you can go do some other things. Which, by the way, Crasher and we have Beat the Freak for a set of General Tires every week. And you're looking at two people that picked you to finish in the top three.
All right.
Yeah. All right. You're probably getting a call saying, dude.
Is there like an apostrophe if he can feel his legs?
Yeah, right.
Is there like a little clause that can get you out of it?
No,
if
because
not?
clearly you've proven that you're a badass and you don't need feeling in your legs to still kick ass and lead the most laps in
kinda
California.
Well, you don't have to really use the brake at Fontana as
No,
much.
you
Here
don't.
you kind of have to.
Yeah, here you have to. That's true.
If you don't use the brake here, well, you'll be meeting a wall pretty quick.
Don't say that. Legs will be fine. Legs will be fine.
Maybe I need to retract my pick of Tyler Reddick
No,
finishing the top
stop
three.
it. Nope.
But to Tyler Reddick always, man, thank you for doing this, bud.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Speaking of, here are the results as we get out of this thing. Here are the results, Statman and Crasher, of our Beat the Freaks. Yes.
Oh, wow. Well, our
Wait a minute.
winner didn't win, but
I was throwing stuff against the wall because my picks were two of my guys didn't even finish. And I still beat somebody? Wow.
wait a minute.
Well,
Who did
for
I
those
pick?
for those listening to us, Crash,
Yeah, who did I
do
pick?
you want to give the numbers? Kenny with 115 points, Statman with 102, Crash with 75, and our attempted winner, Greg, with 64.
That's what. That can't be possible. I mean, two
Yeah.
of my guys didn't even finish the race.
Are you calling out my math stat? I'm pretty sure I was right. Chase Elliott, who spun late in the race, ended up finishing in the top 10 still. Finishing
right.
well in the stages.
Okay. All right.
So he saved you a little bit.
He did. Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson. Wow.
That's right, Kyle Larson.
Freak Nation, Matt Hagan, NHRA Funny Car winner, does something for the first time twice. We'll get to that. And Taylor Gray, you don't want to miss this story. Second hour of the Freaks coming up.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
decades.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined. Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio Redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Freak Nation, I hope that you are watching us on YouTube or on Twitch or Facebook Live. And I also hope that if you're driving that big old fat Peterbilt on I-10 headed back to the Carolinas, that you're listening to us on Sirius XM or one of our many affiliates or one of our many audio apps. Does that sound old to you? Does that sound like old white guy, Richie, audio apps? How do you refer? How do the kids refer to those now?
They're called apps.
Yeah.
Just drop the audio. Kenny, you were the one who taught me this, is to not be over wordy with things.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to say audio apps. You can just say apps. It's great. Save your words.
They're called apps.
Wow. Applications. I still, to this day, and it's so antiquated. You can log on to our website at www. It's like, bro. And it's never a woman. It's always just a dumb guy.
A dude that says that?
Yeah. It's just get out of freaking, 2005 and advance 17 years.
That was 95. The World Wide Web.
Stop it. So many of our apps that were on Freak Nation. Coming up this hour, his name is Matt Hagan, NHRA Funny Car winner. He's got himself 40 wins in the NHRA, but he has 2 firsts today at Gainesville. We'll get to that. Also, Taylor Gray, the driver of his hauler with David Gilliland Racing on I-10, and I've driven this stretch before, headed to Shreveport, Louisiana, going through Longview, Texas, crashed the rig, went over into the other lane. Other people were involved, but his driver crasher,
Steven Stotts,
passed away in that accident. Oh, my goodness. Taylor Gray, not Tanner Gray, not Sean Gray, not Shane Gray, not Johnny Gray, Taylor Gray.
A racing family, clearly.
Got a big win for David Gilliland Friday night in the ARCA Series. We'll hear from him this hour. I'm kind of burnt here.
It's been a long weekend.
It really has.
Out at the track.
Yeah. It doesn't mean we can't bring any energy.
No. We're bringing energy.
Right.
But you say long weekend, you're tired.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Look,
I just think, I'm just dry. I did not drink water today like you're supposed to do at a racetrack let alone a racetrack in the desert. So yeah, I'm just like everything's dry. It's hard for me to talk now. Everything's just bleh.
I guarantee that the 4 of us have 5 times more energy than the Los Angeles Lakers do at the moment. Because the
What's the score?
The Lakers are playing here in Phoenix against the Phoenix Suns. The score right now with 8:44 remaining in the fourth quarter, Phoenix Suns 128, Los Angeles Lakers 93.
Statman, Statman, is that a Lakers jersey I see underneath that snappy jacket?
No. That's the old timers all-star team put together by LeBron James and whatever's left of the Laker front office. Yeah. People are taking numbers to play the Lakers these days, standing in long lines for the opportunity.
Russell Brick Wilson No.
What? He's a Bronco now, by the way.
Who am I trying to say, Richie?
Russell Westbrook.
Westbrook.
Yes. Westbrook. That's holy smokes! I messed that one up. What are you laughing at, Richie?
No, I was just laughing at Stat calling him West Brick because that's pretty much what he is at this point.
Russell Brick.
Yeah, the only time they can win is when LeBron scores 50 plus. He scores half the points. That's not bad for 15 guys on the team.
More drum rolls here in the Freak Nation for the last hour and 15 minutes that we've ever had here. Holy cow. I think we know where we're going with this damn thing. Richie, can we maybe do like a breakdown, maybe a Richard C. Suave breakdown of Drive to Survive every Sunday night?
We can't, but we got to go to break in 10 seconds. So.
Oh, well, okay. There you go. Drive to Survive, ladies and gentlemen, season 4.
Yeah. Drive to Survive, Freak Nation. It's all right, Richie. Jesus, man. Richie getting all fired up there.
Speed Freaks, we promise to suck less. Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined. The Freaks.
Bringing in another round of affiliates here in the Freak Nation. As I mentioned, SiriusXM, radio affiliates across the country, apps all over the world, Freak Nation. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, the website speedfreaks.tv. Crash Gladys Pit News and Notes wants to save you $70, Freak Nation, by 4 qualifying passenger tires from General Tire. And you'll get up to $70 back with a Visa prepaid card. That's right, $70 back. 4 qualifying passenger tires from General Tire. For more information, go to generaltire.com or go to our website, speedfreaks.tv. Hit the GT logo on our front page, and bam! It'll take you there. Crasher, you ready?
Let's do this.
Hit
Again, I want to start this off by saying mad props to Tony Stewart. We've got Matt Hagan coming up in, 5 minutes? Tony Stewart won in both NASCAR and NHRA today. In NASCAR, in Phoenix, it was Chase Briscoe's first win in the Cup Series as his car and crew were the ones to beat the second half of that race. Chase held off Ross Chastain and Tyler Reddick and even admitted to crying a little bit throughout the white flag lap as he went on to cross the stripe. The Xfinity Series had a more dominant winner in Noah Gragson, leading 114 of the 200 laps. Friday night saw the most emotional win when Taylor Gray fought very hard on his General Tires to hold off Daniel Dye, Sammy Smith, and Raja Karuth en route to his first win in the ARCA Series. Gray's car was stripped of sponsorship, while the names Steven Stotts, John Zaveri, and Michael Mazzell were placed above each of the doors. John and Michael survived the Gilliland team hauler's crash during the week, but the hauler driver, Steven Stotts, did not make it. Taylor Gray dedicated the win to his fallen teammate. Back to the Tony Stewart connection and Chase Briscoe's NASCAR Cup win for the team. Over in Florida, it was funny car driver Matt Hagan grabbing the first ever Wally for Tony's NHRA group. Matt will be joining us in 5 minutes. Well, it's probably 4 minutes now. Another first-time winner in a series, if you're counting at home now. Trip Tatum in NHRA Top Fuel will make now 3 today alone. Tripp beat Doug Foley for his Gators Wally in Pro Stock Motorcycle. It was a fitting final for Women's History Month as the battle came down to Karen Stouffer versus Angie Smith. Stouffer loves herself some Gainesville, so after setting new NHRA records not once, but twice today, she netted the win in the quickest side-by-side run in the history of the class. Lucas Oil's Kyle Koretsky versus KB Racing teammate Dallas Glenn was Pro Stock. Glenn not with the advantage on the starting line, but yes, the win light.
Go get you some, baby! Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
How about this, Freak Nation? No matter how big your car or truck is, nothing in your engine takes more abuse than its oil. But with Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer, your engine oil will last longer to do the job it was designed to do. Protect your engine and offer peak performance. Lucas Oil Heavy Duty Stabilizer, it eliminates dry starts, lowers engine temperatures, and prolongs the life of your oil up to 50%. Hey man, don't let your engine be caught dead without the protection and performance of Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer. That's right, keep that engine alive with Lucas Oil.
Now you can get generic Viagra shipped to your door for about $2 a pill. Get the same impact for less. Call Steelman Pills now and get the same blue pill for about $2 a pill. Call now for the 50-pill special and save even more. Plus, get a free bonus.
800-993-1327. 800-993-1327. That's 800-993-1327.
Hey, Freak Nation, whether you're looking for a tire that balances high-performance responsiveness and traction in wet and light snow conditions, excellent handling and traction in off-road situations, or a summer performance tire designed with the driving enthusiast in mind, General Tire has you covered. From the G-Max RS to the Grabber ATX, no matter what you drive, General Tire will get you where you're going. Learn more at GeneralTire.com. General Tire, supporting the Freak Nation for 2 decades.
It's called a tune-up in a bottle for good reason. One little bottle added to every tank of fuel is like a team of mechanics going to work. Lucas Fuel Treatment cleans and lubricates the entire fuel system. It increases power and fuel economy and burns excess exhaust emissions. Lucas Oil Fuel Treatment is the best and simplest way to get your vehicle to perform at its peak. Keep that engine alive with Lucas Oil.
If you're a diabetic, we have great news. You can end the painful finger sticks with a new CGM. Plus, they may be covered by Medicare, Medicaid, or private insurance. If you test and inject daily, you may qualify. Call US Med now to learn more.
800-756-8720. 800-756-8720. 800-756-8720. That's 800-756-8720.
Hey, Freak Nation, if the grind, whine, and squeal of your vehicle's power steering makes you cringe every time you reach for the wheel, then grab Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. That's Lucas's unique formula that fixes most worn rack and pinions, pumps, and gearboxes, making them perform like new. Using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you'll find it eliminates squeals, seal leaks, and rough spots. And get this, it's 100% guaranteed, so there's no reason to use anything but Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. Lucas Oil, it works.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Freak Nation. Coming up in moments, Matt Hagan will be joining us here in the Freak Nation. Also, so many darn grays. I got to get it straight. Taylor Gray will be here in the Freak Nation.
Are we talking about a family or your head? Just
what the hell's happening here?
You said so many grays. Can't keep track of them all.
Yeah, having to deal with your ass for 22 years.
Exactly. Trust me, the grays are here too. They're here too.
How many brain cells did you guys leave on the mountain until you?
Jeez.
And one picture you sent on top of the mountain looking down like, how did I get up here? That maybe you're still up there.
13,000 feet,
so.
babe. All right, let's go to some Matt Hagan. We caught up with him earlier, NHRA Funny Car winner from Gainesville here at the Freak Nation. You're back with Kenny Sargent, Crash Gladys, Statman, Lucas Oil Studios. Do yourself a favor, Freak Nation. Go to lucasoil.com. Check out the line of products to keep your ride on the road, inside your engine, outside your engine, outside your car, inside your car. Bam! Go to lucasoil.com. Looks like Matt Hagan may need a little Lucas oil up in the nose to clean out those clutch boogers that you have coming out of there.
Yeah, man, it's that clutch dust is a real thing, man, and it takes 2 or 3 days, but to get the black off your fingers and out of your nose,
Well,
no, hold on a second. There was one time Ron Capps told us that he had one kind of hanging in the middle of a run, and it was the most annoying thing ever. It even blew out on his helmet.
I tell you the most annoying thing, when I won Indy, the biggest race of the year, I was so sick. Like, I went out there in the finals. I hit the parachutes and I had snot come and hit my visor. You know what I mean? So it was definitely a win for the books. You know what I mean?
Win one for the books.
Oh, yeah. If there was ever a pilot that fits Tony Stewart Racing, it's Matt Hagan already telling booger stories here in the Freak Nation. Well, Matt Hagan, it certainly didn't take you long to get this win for Tony Stewart, did it?
Well, it's huge to get this win for Tony Stewart this weekend. He had a circle track driver also win as well, so congratulations to him, his first Cup win. And, for us to come out here and really lay it down and get that first win for them is huge. It's my 40th win, and I've never won the Gators before. So out of my entire career, this is like the last one to check off the box. So it's kind of like the sun, the moon, and the stars all lined up, and we were able to get it done here. So the 40th career win, first for Tony. He got a cup win today as well. And, you know, we were just out here killing it and just having fun doing it. And that's the biggest thing with TSR right now. You know, like, all my guys are just having fun. Like, we were able to bring everybody over. And, you know, what Tony and Leah put together over the winter is just phenomenal. I mean, 3 months to put two teams together, and we're out here turning on win lights and winning races. It says a lot about Tony Stewart and what he can do with racing, man. I think everything the guy touches it turns into race wins and gold, you know?
Without question. Now, hold on a second, though. You said you've never won the Gators before, and your first 2 rounds were not easy. When did you realize that you actually could make this work?
Well, when the win light comes on, you know,
right.
You never know. When you pull nitro in the tank, it's such a humbling thing to drive a fuel funny car, because you never know what you're going to get. You know, it's like riding a bull, right? You're like, is it going to go left or right, or, you know, what you're going to do. And so for us, you don't ever count your eggs before they hatch, because this is such a humbling, you know, experience out in NHRA. And we have a great crew, a great team. Dickie Venables has assembled so many great guys out here. And, you know, I know what we're capable of, and I'm just excited this year to come in here and just have fun doing what we're doing. And, you know, Tony, like, I can't wait to post a video of Tony and Leah on the starting line. Like, it's just phenomenal. It's just raw, pure adrenaline and excitement, you know what I mean?
You.
Hey, can you tell your crew to quit spraying down the pistons or something? You're doing a big-time interview. All we're hearing is...
I know, they're loud over here, man. They're trying to get tore down so they can drink beer. I already drink a bottle of champagne. Well, we're really blessed to be out here. I'm blessed to be on SpeedFreaks, because you guys only want to talk to me when I win. So it's a good day.
Hey, we talked to you in the off season, and there were no wins involved. It's all good.
When have you guys ever just called to see, like, how much mud's going on over there? How much cow poop you in right now? You know?
I remember.
Just when I turn win lights on, you know?
No, I remember doing an interview, and you had just come off the farm. It was a non-race
I think
weekend.
You guys had, like, some cow moo, like, sounds and stuff like that.
We did. Yeah. You're exactly right.
I was like, these guys are ready for me already.
All right.
Like, cows moving in the background when I came up. Matt Hagan moo. I was like, what is that?
So Matt Hagan, funny car winner, Gator Nationals today. Matt, all of this stuff, we've talked about stuff coming out of your nose, all of the crazy. How long is it going to take you to get back to lifting some weight? I've been looking at pictures of you. It looks like you care more about building that body than you do getting that funny car down the track.
Yeah, you know, I really am excited about this season, because, you know, there's, like, Dickie Venables lost his dad this year, and we're really trying to dedicate this season to his dad. And you know, he's been out here. He's a big part of Dickie doing what he does. And, you know, there's so many opportunities out here. But I really am excited this season to be able to have such a great crew and a great car underneath me, and Tony to be so excited about what we do, and Leah to be a big part of it. And it just, I can't tell you how excited I am as a driver to be a part of, like, this whole organization and all the stuff and the parts and pieces. I mean, honestly, we were just talking in the lounge, and Tony's like, whatever it takes, man. Like, we're going to do whatever it takes to win. And I love that competitive side of Tony. You know what I mean? He's a competitor, and it drives me to get up on the wheel and be you know, like, make sure I'm bringing it to the table and do my part, you know?
But Matt Hagan, you still didn't say, when are you going to get back to lifting the weights in the gym?
Well, I just wear smaller shirts, man. You know what I mean? You know, that's you don't have to lift weights if you wear smaller shirts.
Yeah.
All he has to do is lift Wallies. Lift Wallies.
That's right, lift Wallies all day long.
Well, be sure to put that video out of Leah and Tony going bonkers. We want to see that, brother. All right.
100%. Thank you, guys.
Cool.
Thank
you.
I'm sorry. Bottle of champagne in and Wallies and all that good stuff. Time to get on the plane and go home. But,
You go. You celebrate.
See you, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
All Freak Nation, Matt Hagan here with the Freaks in the Lucas Oil Studios.
Okay, something that you guys can't see that I was getting on my cell phone is frantic texts from his group there in the trailer saying, the phone's about to die. So that's why I'm reaching over to you, Kenny, going, wrap it up.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that I wanted to ask, but when he mentioned this season, the season was dedicated to Dickie Venables, if you believe in numerology, he won his first championship in 2011. 3 years later, in 2014, he won his second championship. That means the next championship came 6 years later in 2020. That means the next one comes 9 years later in 2029. Nah. Ways away. So I decided to throw that away and not mention it since they want to get this season for Dickie Venables.
Yes.
Damn, stat man doing some research. Holy
numbers,
smokes.
man.
Hey, he probably does. Anybody can throw weight around like that. Doesn't need. He ain't worried about numbers. The only numbers he's worried about is 387 with a 6 or that fourth championship. He only cares about two numbers, especially that number 4.
Yep. Bring it.
I would imagine that Stewart-Haas Racing and Tony Stewart Racing, there's someone there with cameras letting Tony know that Briscoe wins after. Okay, did Matt Hagan crash or did Matt Hagan win after
it was
Briscoe?
Close.
Because
No.
it seemed pretty close, didn't it?
It was very close, but social media was off on the timing, and the NHRA did that purposely. So the way it technically happened was, yes, Hagan won first, but it was within the hour that then Briscoe took the win. So, yeah, pretty spectacular. Who knows? No, they probably weren't back in their pit watching the NASCAR race. I bet Tony had it on an iPad. He did tell me when they were here testing a couple of weeks ago in Phoenix that he carries an iPad with him and watches his sprint car teams, his NASCAR teams if he's at NHRA or the NHRA races if he's at NASCAR. So yeah, he had something with him. So when they were in victory lane celebrating with Matt Hagan, that's probably when the news came in.
The best thing about this win by Chase Briscoe is that Kyle Busch can't say anything about it.
And on that note,
okay,
your stat man scat. The Lucas Oil Studios and the Speed Freaks pits.
Formula One season opens in Bahrain this week. Lots of new stuff, lots of new headlines, driver lineups, driver dreams, and engineering ideas. A welcome headline this week has American Colton Herta getting a test driver deal from McLaren run by American Zach Brown. That synergy is the point of disappointment over what's happening at Haas F1. That relationship with Russia may sack the team. Wouldn't surprise me if Haas sells out to Michael Andretti, but that's not a headline. That's pure speculation on my part. I just hope that Herta has grown into the big boy discipline to be successful in F1. He didn't have it at Nashville last year. Hopefully his racecraft has grown beyond his years. Michael Andretti is saying he's made inroads with F1 owners after personal conversations recently. If Michael has the money, he should be allowed in the club if he has the money. As for F1 owners, if a black drummer is good enough for the gentrified Rolling Stones, why can't Michael Andretti be good enough for the gentrified F1 grid if he has the money? Peace.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
decades.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Statman, let me get off this video if you're watching this on YouTube. Sorry about that, Freak Nation. Got to remove that. Statman, what are gas prices in Columbus right about now?
I think I paid $4.09, a big W Chevy block. $4.09 the last time I bought some gas a couple days ago.
Yeah, we're pushing upper $4 range, $5 here in Phoenix. I can only imagine what it is in California. I got kind of a solution for these high gas prices. What about Lucas Oil fuel treatment? Formulated for both gasoline, diesel engines. I could run through the litany of items how Lucas Oil fuel treatment can help your car. What about just increases power and miles per gallon? Power and miles per gallon by burning excess exhaust emissions. Check it out at lucasoil.com. Cleans and lubricates the fuel system, neutralizes low sulfur fuel problems you might have, increases the life pumps and injectors. Go to lucasoil.com to learn more about Lucas Oil fuel treatment. That's at lucasoil.com. Two things I want to do. Statman, when the hell did you start using the...
Started on that. That's the segue of all time.
Oh, hell.
That's the absolute segue. 22 years of segways. That's the leader of the pack.
Man, holy smokes. Yeah. You got to be high cotton to get a compliment like that from Statman.
There must be some snow left over, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Careful when you refer to snow when you're jacked up on Mountain Dew. Hey, Statman, when the hell did you start using the reference to race cars as racecraft?
I don't know. I'm old enough. That was so long ago, I can't remember.
Because there were 16-year-olds using the word racecraft in interviews over the weekend at Phoenix Raceway, and you just used racecraft. It sounds so Jetson-esque or Land of the Lost or freaking Star Trek. It's racecraft.
I think you used to buy packages of racecraft at Radio Shack years ago. They sold them 3 for $1. Wasn't that the Radio Shack? Wasn't that it?
That's right. It is close to midnight in Columbus. You already. It is getting kind of late for you right now. I get that.
Might have been Walgreens or Kresge, something like that.
Jeez, here we go. Hey, Richie, we've got a little bit of time to kill here. I'd like to, for those that are watching us on YouTube, those that are watching us on Twitch and Facebook Live, you heard Matt Hagan talking about this video of Tony Stewart and Leah Pruitt watching that final round at Gainesville, pack stands, where Matt Hagan got his first win at Gainesville and the first NHRA win for Tony Stewart Racing. And this is, if you're watching us, bear with us on the radio for just a little bit, but if you're watching us, watch the reaction. You'll see Tony Stewart standing in the middle and then Leah Pruitt on the right-hand side. When they won that, you see Tony Stewart stiffen up and do that freaking hulkulating-looking pose.
Hulkulating-looking?
Crasher, look, it's late here. It's 8:30 in Phoenix.
Hulkulating-looking.
All right, Suave, play the video, my friend. See?
That's quite hulkulating-looking.
Yeah. Look at that, Tony and Leah.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Let it roll one more time, man.
Let's get all the way from the beginning. Yeah.
Look at Leah jumping around. So badass.
Top Fuel rails, Top Fuel funny cars, they are so loud that even you can hear the loudness when they're just sitting on the starting line. But once they take off, it even blows the speakers from your phone away because it just becomes quiet.
You know, Statman, when you're about to run over Tony Stewart about 15 years ago, 16 years ago, whenever the hell it was, in a golf cart. There was no discussion that Tony Stewart, Smoke, one of the greatest names ever in motorsports now, that he was going to be owning an NHRA Top Fuel team.
We used to laugh at him when he talked about wanting to get in a Top Fuel car.
Yeah.
And now he owns a funny car and a Top Fuel car, and he's turning on wind lights with it.
Wow.
With his wife.
With his, that might be the biggest headline of all.
Right. God, who would work with their wife?
Oh, I know.
Who the hell would do that, Statman?
I don't have any idea. The concept is alien to me.
It is.
Yeah, spouses working together.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's certainly not going to last.
No. Yeah. Just like people said to you that SpeedFreaks would never last. Yeah.
What are you talking about? You're not going to get Rusty Wallace to talk like that?
Including the guy who went to jail for 12 years.
Oh, right.
Is he not a lifer given what he did? We don't need to get, we're digging rabbit holes.
We're talking about PR people in the motorsports industry.
And there goes Crasher right in there.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, just diving into the rabbit hole with him.
Yep. Yeah. Richie's on here just going, I have no idea what they're talking about, who they're talking about, but
now we know it's PR people.
It's been a tough climb, Richie, but damn it, every now and then we put our big fat feet on the motorsports mountain and tell everybody to kiss our ass, because we can now.
22 years. Yeah, we can.
It's incredible the amount of time Statman told him to kiss his butt. Imagine if we had social media when we started it. We couldn't have started this thing with social media, could we?
Yeah, we could have.
Really?
Because message boards were kind of a thing. And
message boards.
I know. Remember that?
Talk about Kresge and Walmart or Walgreens. Wow, message boards. Can you? Wow.
What the hell's happening here?
Yeah, that's a rabbit canyon. That's not a rabbit hole.
Rabbit canyon. Well, that was the original. That was the birthplace of keyboard warriors, where people thought they could say anything because nobody can see my face, and that's not even my real name. Yeah,
that was a big deal for CART. Was message boards. Those. I don't.
NHRA got pretty big into them too.
But
Crash was a big deal for CART. Are you kidding me?
I was a lightning rod for them.
Yeah.
Lightning rod. You were the whole lightning tower, for crying out loud.
Now, Suave, we all know of burner phones, burner accounts. Crasher, on those message boards, you had some OG burner accounts, didn't you?
No.
You didn't?
No.
You went after him as Crash Gladys? You going up it's Betsy Wallace from Fontana?
No, it was always my name, because I've always not been a fan of burner stuff. And like, even when you make a mistake on Twitter, I mean, unless it's like, I don't know. I guess if you misspell something, go ahead and delete it. But if you put something out there and you probably shouldn't have, you need to still own up to it. So never did a burner. Didn't have time for that. Too many people were throwing darts at my own name anyway, so that was harsh.
Those were the sweethearts that threw darts.
Yeah.
Everybody else was lobbing Scud missiles at you.
Yeah, good point.
Richie, do you realize that at one time we had the Mike Helton of Champ Car CART bow down to us?
IndyCar.
Yes. I remember you telling me that story.
Yep.
That was the day AJ Foyt was, not AJ Allmendinger was standing by, and he saw that. He still talks about that. How'd they get him to? Wow.
Joe Heitzler. Holy smokes. Freak Nation, we've done a lot of things over the last 22 years, including eating some type of ribs, meat, something or other with Johnny Gray and Del Worsham with the Checker Shucks Craig and Funny Car team. Statman and I did that while we're listening to Nelly.
Carne asada. Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
And then Johnny Gray talking about working with former President George Bush.
George Bush.
Yeah, George Bush.
Because that would have been 99 or 2000.
His grandson joins us next, Taylor Gray. It's coming up next. Freak Nation, Speed Freaks Pits, and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Hey, Freak Nation, if the grind, whine, and squeal of your vehicle's power steering makes you cringe every time you reach for the wheel, then grab Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. That's Lucas's unique formula that fixes most worn rack and pinions, pumps, and gearboxes, making them perform like new. Using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you'll find it eliminates squeals, seal leaks, and rough spots. And get this, it's 100% guaranteed, so there's no reason to use anything but Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. Lucas Oil, it works.
Now you can get generic Viagra shipped to your door for about $2 a pill. Get the same impact for less. Call Steelman Pills now and get the same blue pill for about $2 a pill. Call now for the 50 pill special and save even more. Plus, get a free bonus.
800-993-1327. 800-993-1327. That's 800-993-1327.
Hey, Freak Nation, did you hear? With the addition of MAV TV Plus to the MAV TV Motorsports Network, they've got their full live event broadcast schedule for 2021. It's a total of 226 live race broadcasts featuring 11 highly competitive racing series. This year's live coverage on MAV TV features the ARCA Menard Series, midget car action provided by the Power Eye National Midget League, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, and the Pro Pulling League. There's even the Moto America Series, Midwest Drag Racing Series, American Sprint Car Series, Pro Motocross, Hoosier Arena Cross, and the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl National. It's MAV TV's most robust live coverage schedule in network history. So come join us at MAV TV, the only television network in the U.S. dedicated exclusively to motorsports. For more information on MAV TV and MAV TV Plus, go to mavtv.com to get your motorsports fix 24/7, 365.
Time is more valuable today. There's less time to keep our vehicles looking their best. That's where Lucas Oil Slick Mist Speed Wax steps up. It's great for paint, chrome, glass, and vinyl. Lucas Oil Slick Mist simply mists on and then wipes off, leaving a new car shine every time. It's quick and easy and works on wet or dry surfaces. For a complete detail, there's also Slick Mist Interior or Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Lucas Oil, it works.
Hey, Freak Nation, whether you're looking for a tire that balances high-performance responsiveness and traction in wet and light snow conditions, excellent handling and traction in off-road situations, or a summer performance tire designed with the driving enthusiast in mind, General Tire has you covered. From the G-Max RS to the Grabber ATX, no matter what you drive, General Tire will get you where you're going. Learn more at GeneralTire.com. General Tire, supporting the Freak Nation for 2 decades.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, looking forward to this interview. We caught up with Taylor Gray Friday night after the ARCA Series win. You saw the race on MAV TV. MAV TV carrying a number of the ARCA Series races this year. But it was one of, I'm not going to say it was a strange victory lane. It just wasn't, and it wasn't fitting. The way they handled it, it was fitting. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't fitting to go bonkers and throw champagne and hoot and holler and curse words and so forth because of what happened beforehand involving the winning team and David Gilliland Racing. Crasher?
Yeah, their hauler driver was obviously driving across country, east to west, through, what'd you say, Longview, Texas?
Longview, Texas, yep.
And according to reports, he may have tipped or just kind of tapped the trailer of the vehicle in front of him, causing the trailer to veer into the median, as well as the David Gilliland Racing hauler itself to veer into the median, ended up falling on its side. There was a fire. John Zaveri and Michael Mazzell survived, though they were taken to the hospital and had some injuries. They survived. They were in the David Gilliland Racing hauler, but the driver of the hauler, Steven Stotts, did not make it. And that is what led into this week's ARCA race, which was just horrible. They borrowed a hauler to transport their surviving equipment as well and decided to race with no sponsorship on the side of their car. David Gilliland said it just wasn't appropriate. Why are we going to be pimping out these sponsors when the only things that matter are people? Steven Stotts, John Zaveri, and Michael Mazzell.
This is Johnny Gray. Excuse me. I knew it was going to happen. This is Taylor Gray, the son of Shane Gray, the grandson of former NHRA Funny Car pilot Johnny Gray, here in the Freak Nation in the Lucas Oil Studios. Hey, your
technology.
Your ARCA Series winner from Phoenix Raceway tonight. We waited a little long to get this thing, but for good reason, because he's had a lot of folks that he needed to shake hands with and say congratulations to and just get some big boy hugs tonight. Yes. We'll get into that, but quickly, Taylor, let me give you some background of the Freaks. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
Me and Statman for Speed Freaks were having some like tri-tip and beers with your grandfather maybe 22 years ago as he was driving the funny car with Dale Worsham with the Checker Shucks Cragen funny car team.
Okay.
And I don't even know, how old is your dad, Shane Gray?
He's 49, turning 50, I think. Yeah.
All right, so he was about, you're what?
My age? Yes.
How old are you now?
I am 16.
That's crazy, man.
I turned 17 the end of this month.
All right. Well, in other words, you weren't born when we met your grandfather.
I definitely was not, no.
But we know the significance of the Gray family when it comes to drag racing and stock cars. So needless to say, we're not surprised that you're in victory lane.
Feels good.
At 16 years old, I am surprised because, again, it's still ARCA, but I understand it's a tough field out there, Broham. How'd you do it?
Yeah, I just feel like we executed pretty well all night. Our restarts were really good at the end. I thought they were really good. But just a really good race car by Chad Johnston and everybody on the box at DGR, everybody that works day and night at the shop. Brought a really fast race car. Obviously, the odds were against us this weekend, but we fought and we pulled through for Steven, Michael, and John. This is all for them.
Let's get that over with. And you brought up 3 names in there. One individual has passed. 2 other individuals seriously injured in an accident headed from in Longview, headed here to Phoenix. Who coached you through this race with such heavy hearts after losing your long haul driver?
Yeah, I just feel like everybody around me, everybody, when it comes to the road crew, everybody, Jeremy, Ed, Aaron, Frank, seriously, everybody on my team, Chad, we were all there for each other. And I don't really feel like anybody really coached us through it. I think we were just there for everybody. And I feel like just the whole organization at DGR was there for everybody. And we just kind of fought through.
Who was in your ear at the end of this race? Because it seemed like we almost had a tale of two halves here. There was a lot of domination going on, and then at the end, it was kind of anybody's game. Who was in your ear giving you the encouragement to be like, hey, you got this?
Yeah, Nick Payne on the roof. This is would be our first year with Nick? I don't remember. Like half of last year. Yeah, sorry. Kind of got mixed up there.
It's part of motorsports.
Yeah, me and Nick have been with each other not too long, but for a little bit. And Nick pretty much coached me or gave me some motivation to stay in it. I feel like we struggled there at the halfway break through the race, just trying to get our stuff to come to us. But once it did with like 30 to go, we were really, all props to Chad Johnston. Just we were definitely more of a long run car, I think. Mm-hmm. But once we got past that, 10 to 15 laps marker, we were really good. But at the end, I think it just all came down to execution on restarts. I thought we were still really good on the short run there at the end, just because I think our stuff had came to us. But that last restart, I think whoever leads coming out of turn 1 and 2, I think pretty much wins the race. So I think that I just kept that mentality, and we're really aggressive on restarts.
And you're right, that was so crucial. You were going into overtime. It almost seemed like, okay, strategy has to change a little bit. We got to play games with each other. Were you doing that with Raja on your outside and the guys behind you as well?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, that's a part of the game, right? You have
Absolutely.
you play restart games. Raja was trying to play restart games with me, and Raja really props to Raja. That was a really good run for Raja. Really good run for all those guys over there. Super proud of those guys. But I could see him laying back in my mirror, and so then I knew, all right, this is what I got to do. And I executed it, got a good launch, and it was kind of from there. Thought I was a little passive on the last lap, more so than I should have been. I feel like I've lost a couple races doing that, just not being aggressive enough on the white flagged lap. But I think we were fast enough to where it didn't matter too much. I don't know. The 43 kind of made the last turn move, but I mean that's part of it.
But see, that's racing. That's sports in general. That's life in general. You only learn, or you learn the best by first failing. So you fail forward. So in your mind, you're like, okay, I've lost races on these restarts. I know exactly what to do to get the win this time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think, in my opinion, the more you lose and the more you do things wrong, if you take it as a learning experience, the better off you're going to be and the better you're going to be in the future. So I feel like that's what we've done. Over the past couple of years, it's just learn from my mistakes and better myself from them.
You brought
He told you he was 16, right? He told you he was 16. Are you sure you're not 36? It's amazing.
Jeez, there were so many things that weren't happening to me at 16 years old, brother, that I don't want to put out on Mav TV's Facebook page at this point. But you brought up Raja Caruth, and there are two couldn't be better stories of who won the race.
Yeah.
Raja or you. And, it's the significance of an African-American winning an ARCA Series race would be just legendary. And then you coming back from that horrific accident with your driver of the hauler and the injured individuals winning this race. I'm not going to say which one is better or worse. I'm not going to put that out there. But
to add to his story as well, it was a horrific week for the team. It's been a horrific 12 months for you as well, having your own accident.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the whole comeback story for you is just mind-boggling.
Yeah, I mean, like I've said before, just the meeting a couple minutes ago, I think it's just, it's just I want to race. I feel like I'm a true racer at heart. And so just having that mentality, I think, is what made me come back as fast as I did. I definitely, had some learning to do when I came back, and definitely had to learn from some stuff. But I feel like we did that. I feel like I took everything. I learned from every mistake I made and bettered myself. And onto the Raja thing, yeah, I mean, that would be awesome. I hope Raja does get a win this year. I mean, for selfish reasons, I wanted myself to win. But, definitely at some point, he's really talented. He's going to get a win at some point.
How did you fall into the hands, or how did David Gilliland harangue you to drive for him?
It was a couple years ago. I started racing his late model, and I had speed, but didn't have racecraft, so I struggled quite a bit when I raced late models. My first year, second year, I only ran a part-time schedule. We were pretty good. We'd won a race, and then I went ARCA racing, and had some learning to do. And then the year after that, obviously, I got hurt. And had to come back from that, and then had even more learning to do after that.
Gosh.
And then, this year, I feel like we've been off to a pretty good start.
Yeah, I'd say so. We're race number 2, and you're up there in the points. This race was crazy, though. Crazier than Daytona in the sense that 40 cars were out there on a 1-mile track. How, you said you even agreed it was kind of a tale of two halves in this race. How were you able to be so patient through that first half and through some of the other yellow flags in the second half?
Yeah, I felt like I was actually pretty excited for the 40 cars because I feel like my strong suit is getting through traffic better than anybody. And so I was pretty pumped about as many cars were showing up. I think it's fun navigating through traffic. It puts more of a play into a race. But
okay.
No, I thought it was good. We need these type of fields back in ARCA. It's kind of how the old ARCA fields used to be. Is you'd have 40 cars show up, and that's how it'd be. You had your really good cars, and you'd have your mid-pack cars, and you have your guys just having fun, man. Like that's what it's all about. So no, I enjoyed it though.
Hey, who's the bigger pain in the ass for you? Your grandfather or your dad? Shane or Johnny?
Man, I can't answer that.
I think your brother said the same thing when we asked him a while ago.
Oh, Tanner?
Yeah. I think he said the same thing.
He just said yes.
I'm not really sure how to answer that either.
That's probably pretty good, right?
Yeah.
It's family.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Where does that all stem from, your grandfather, Johnny Gray, you guys are being such motorheads?
Yeah, I think, it obviously all came down, my great-grandpa, John R., he wasn't really into motorsports that much,
Right.
He, had started up the oil company. And then my grandpa, he got into some dirt racing and stuff like that. Then he went drag racing, and then my dad, and then then Tanner. And then I went a complete opposite path with circle track racing, then Tanner followed me, but... Yeah, I think it all stimulates. Once it's in your blood, you can't get rid of it.
Right.
Nope.
But yeah, I think so for sure.
Do you get to puff up your chest now in the family? Like, I'm the most recent winner.
I'm actually, I'm more so not like, I'm cocky as I just won. I'm more so, all right, let's take this good momentum into next weekend and try to win another race. And so,
Humble.
Yeah. Exactly. I just got to be as humble as possible. Even if I think it's the best thing to be humble. But even if I wasn't humble, I haven't done anything in my career yet, or proved myself in my career yet, where I can't be humble, where I can't not be humble. Right. So, yeah, I feel like
you just won a freaking race with 40 cars on a 1 mile track. Puff your chest up.
We've got many people watching this feed on MAV TV's Facebook page, and they're shaking their head just like I am. Bro, you're 16.
I know.
Have you started shaving yet?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, I've got a little something come in right here.
Yeah,
Yeah. I had to shave before I came here. Before I came to Phoenix.
Because I'm going back and thinking of the things that do you still ride a bike? Do you ride bike?
For training, yeah, I rode bike. Yeah.
You don't ride an old BMX? See,
No.
I'm old. I get that, but my goodness,
I rode bike. That's about it. Mountain bike and road bike.
Right.
I tend to stay away from mountain bikes more since I got hurt, but yeah,
Right.
I rode bike quite a bit.
Are you a fiend for your cell phone or iPad?
I'm not a fiend for it.
Yeah.
I definitely would like to have it, but
Right.
I'm not to where if you take it away from me, I'm not gonna.
How old were you when you got your first phone?
Probably like 12, 11.
Ooh, okay.
You
So
got
you've
a
only
few
had
more
a few
years.
years. That's good.
Maybe
Yeah.
10 or 11.
Good job,
It's
Shane.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Yeah. So is that early for a kid, or should they wait till like they're 15?
I think it all depends on how. I can't say anything. I'm not a parent, and I'm not. Gonna
He's
be able to-
asking specifically for dad advice. That's
I've got
exactly why he's
8-year-old.
asking.
She's not asking for one though.
Yeah.
No, she's not. No.
I think it's all. I think you can. From whenever they can, understand what it is. I think it's okay to have one. You just have
Right.
to have set rules on when you can get on it and when you can, when you have to get off of it.
They understand what it is at 1 these days.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, brother, this is awesome. I know it's getting late for you.
I got to catch a flight, go back to North Carolina.
What the hell are you talking about, man? You're 16, bro. Stay up.
Wait, what?
Play some video games, man.
Oh, will you let him go?
No. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
Come on. Well, this was it was cool to get you on here. MAV TV with broadcast tonight.
Yes.
Phoenix Raceway, and celebrating with you.
Yeah.
For all the right reasons tonight.
I appreciate
Right.
it, guys. Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said, it's for Steven that, we unfortunately tragically lost, and
Right.
John and Michael that are watching on their TVs back at home. It's all for them. Can't wait to see those guys when I get back, man. I feel like I've mentally been struggling because I haven't been able to see them. So, but I'm ready to get back and go see him, and try to get another win for Steven. I feel like he's my good luck charm. He's looking down on us.
16 years old, Statman.
Yeah, that still rattles around in my head. I think these glasses are older than he is.
Go. I don't know how they do it, man. I know how we do it. We do it every Sunday night right here. You missed any of this show, go to the website, speedfreaks.tv. We'll have it up there for you in the morning. Also, our YouTube page, our Twitch, and our Facebook page. You can watch this video. If you're not watching to it right now, if you're listening to it, you can go watch this damn thing again, right? What's so funny?
We are all tired.
Yeah, we're pretty tired.
We're just tired.
Statman's going to be up for another two hours editing this damn thing.
Yeah. Talking about cutting it loose. Wow.
Yeah, man. Speaking of, shoot the juice to the moose and Statimus Maximus, man.
Cut it loose.
See ya.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined. You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.